Hello and welcome to this tutorial on bioavailability. It is defined as the fraction of unchanged drug reaching the systemic circulation following administration by any route. If we split this definition, we can find out the fraction of drugs or fraction of unchanged drug that reach to the systemic circulation. Second half, systemic circulation using the through blood, following by administration of drug by any route like intravenous, oral, intramuscular, is known as bioavailability. To understand bioavailability, we need to understand this graph where we can see two terms. One is accumulation, the second term is elimination. And if you see with the time or half-life, these two are very important to understand the drug bioavailability. And you can see in this case that drug accumulation increase over the steady time, and then after attaining the steady state concentration, it maintained. Whereas you see elimination decrease with the time. In the initial, the elimination will be higher than it decrease after maintaining the steady state concentration. So you have to understand that with the increase of the time, the drug accumulation increase, whereas drug elimination will decrease. And this is actually, these two parameters will help to define the bioavailability. If you take a look of this graph, concentration of drug in the blood, and then you can see there are three different graph representation. If you see in A, the drug concentration increases with the time and then it declines. This line, dotted line, is showing you the therapeutic window or therapeutic concentration. So you can see in slide A, the concentration of the drug increased and then it declined. In B, if you see, only half of the availability of A. Like when you compare with this diagram with B, this section, you can find out that half of the availability of the drug as compared to the A. You can see this. This is A, and when you see this B graph, it is just like half. So the availability of drug in the B graph will be half to A. When we talk about drug in C, we can see drug completely available, but the rate only half. So if you see this C graph, this one, the drug is available completely because you can see it is around the therapeutic window to complete to give its efficacy, but the rate is half to A. So you can see this graph is going down, but this the rate of decline is half to A. So these are the three scenarios that you can see. If you see this figure, they also mention blood concentration time curve, illustrating how change in rate of absorption and the extent of bioavailability can influence both duration of action and its effectiveness of the total same dose of drug administered in three different formulations. And the dashed line indicate a target concentration or therapeutic concentration or therapeutic window of drug in the blood. The area under the blood concentration time curve, it is also known as AUC, is proportional to the dose and extent of bioavailability for a drug if elimination is first order. So what is meant by first order? Actually, it is a type of kinetics, order kinetics. And we can divide into two orders. One is zero order, the other one is first order. The zero order kinetics, the drugs which are not concentration dependent. So the zero order drugs are independent to concentration. Whereas the drugs that are first order, they are concentration dependent. So first you need to understand that there are two orders. Most of the drugs in order kinetics, when we talk about 95% of the drugs follow first order. It means they are concentration dependent. Only 5% of drugs follow zero order kinetics. Among them, the example is ethanol or alcohol. They follow zero order kinetics, but majority of the drugs, 95% follow first order kinetics and they are concentration dependent. So they're talking about that area under blood concentration time curve, AUC, is proportional to the dose and extent of bioavailability for a drug. So it means it's depend upon the dosage, amount of drug or the extent of drug that is bioavailable, and they are following the first order kinetics. So you need to understand another thing that the drug of bioavailability depend upon the route of administration and general characteristics. Like intravenous route, the bioavailability of those drugs are be 100% and their rapid onset. Whereas intramuscular, their bioavailability is low. Subcutaneous also have low bioavailability. The oral bioavailability of the drug is varies from 5% to less than 100%. So there is a difference between intravenous and oral bioavailability, as we discussed in the last lecture as well. That intravenous drugs are more rapidly absorbed and their dose of calculation will be different when we compare with the oral drug that has been given. And their bioavailability is different, but the people use oral because they are more convenient and sometimes first pass effect is important. What is meant by first pass effect means the drug has to be metabolized in the liver. So sometimes what happens that a drug that has been given in the body is inactive form. They are not active. But after first pass effect, means after metabolization or biotransformation, after biotransformation of drug from inactive to active metabolite, I'm showing you here. Like a drug that has been given inactive form, drug has been metabolized in liver, and then it biotransformed into active metabolite. So then this active metabolite is more important to produce the desired pharmacological effect. So this is important in case of when the drug has been given oral, whereas in intravenous drug, the drug already been given as an active form. So we don't need to do any we don't, there is no inactive drug or active drug concept in intravenous injection. So this is very important to understand the difference between different route of administration and their bioavailability. Again, I'm showing you this slide to explain the first pass elimination. The drug that orally ingested enter into the GIT. After GIT, it goes inside to the liver, where the drug metabolized by the enzymes, and then drug either go to the hepatic vein, producing through pharmacological activity in the body, and then eliminated through kidney. Whereas when the drug has been given intravenous, we are not passing the drug from the liver. No, the drug has been going directly to produce a desired effect and then eliminated to the kidney. So this is, you have to understand the difference between the first pass elimination and their role when the drug has been given orally. To calculate the first pass elimination, we use the formula, which is clearance from the liver divided by Q, which is meant by Q is hepatic flow. Second thing, you need to understand that the drug bioavailability depends upon two factors. Number one is extent of absorption, and number two is first pass elimination. For example, I'm giving you one example of digoxin, which is used for the treatment of heart failure. This drug has only 70% bioavailability. Why? Because due to lack of absorption. Lack of absorption from the gut. Now you have to understand that why the drug has been absorbed, why there is less bioavailability. We have to understand the nature of the drug. There are some drugs that are lipophilic, some drugs are hydrophilic. Lipophilic and hydrophilic, in simple terms, I can divide lipo. Lipo means lipid, hydro means water, whereas philic means attraction. So in case of lipophilic and hydrophilic, lipo means these drugs are those that are lipid loving. Lipophilic, lipid loving. Whereas hydrophilic drugs is water loving drugs. So again, the nature of drug depend upon chemical or structural unit. And it depend upon, I know you are not familiar with the chemistry, but in simple terms, it depends upon polarity of drug from less polar drugs to more polar drugs. So you don't need to go for chemistry. It's just an additional information that I'm sharing with you. So the absorption also depend upon the nature of drug, whether they are hydrophilic or lipophilic. And it is very important that if a drug is too lipophilic or too hydrophilic, then the drug cannot be absorbed properly. So for this, you have to understand that, for example, the outermost layer of skin is actually known as stratum corneum. And if we draw that structure, uh, the skin structure, so you can see there is actually the upper layer is actually the hydrophilic pathway. And the lower layers are the lipophilic pathway. So if, for example, a drug is too hydrophilic, then the problem, the drug will be absorbed here, but it cannot pass through the lipophilic. If and this happens, then the absorption of the drug will be low. Or in another case, if a drug is too lipophilic, then the drug cannot pass through this region and then it's unable to absorb into lipophilic. So it means the drug, if it is too hydrophilic, then it will absorb here and then it will not absorb here. Whereas if a drug is lipophilic, that unable to cross through the membrane to go inside. So you have to be understand we have to design a drug in certain way that the drug will be optimized to absorb so that it will produce the desired effect. So these are actually more related to the pharmacy and pharmaceuticals. You are not going to study these things, but you must know the nature of drugs is very important to understand the absorption of drug and producing the pharmacological effect. So thank you so much for today's lecture.